And just enjoy yourself. We back, man. We're back, man. Twan Dawn versus everybody is back. You know what I'm saying? Back with these fire one-on-one videos to get into people's business, to talk Carolina Panthers. It's officially the off season. About to get ready to go into the new season. I wanted to start off to restart the second season with this brother right here. This has been in the plans for a long time, and finally we're back to be able to get this interview done. I'm gonna try to tell y'all this, man. Y'all can love Shannon Sharp all you like, man, but Twan started this. You know what I'm saying? Twan started this, you know. So look, I'm just playing with y'all with that, man. Shannon doing a great job out there. But locally, this is what I do, man. And I'm loving what's about to take place here. Hey, look, man, this guy right here, man, is the owner and the proprietor of Panthers Prime podcast. Y'all see him out there, man. He hit 1,000 subscribers right after we hit 1,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Solo dolo. You know what I'm saying? Always has the great energy. I love his mind, man. I love how he brings it with his debate. No bullshit with him. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up, clean. Makes you think about how he's going to describe the Panthers and what he does, man. One of many that I know, man. But listen, y'all know the other ones. Today, man, I want y'all to go ahead and start putting y'all hands together. You know what I'm saying? For this one right here, man, I introduce y'all to the stage, man. The homie, my brother, Panthers Prime, is in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on? What's going on, man? Hey, man, that intro, kid, that vibe, that vibe was 100, y'all.
I'll give it up to him one more time. Hey, look, man, look. I do a few things, man. You know what I'm saying? And people need to understand I do a few things. And that's produced by me, man. That's my beat.
That's your beat?
Absolutely.
I might need to hit you up, man.
Can't get that cleared for obvious reasons, though.
Yeah, I might need to hit you up, man, because I like a nice neo soul, man. That's straight neo soul. I love it, man. Yeah.
I got about 9 Michael Jackson flips on me, and I'm trying to figure out how to put them out. I know it ain't gonna be for no money, but this is what I do, Prime. You know what I'm saying? Let's learn something about each other today, man.
Okay,
you know
let's do it. Let's go,
bro. You ready?
I'm ready, my dude. I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it, man.
If y'all not watching this show right now, then make sure you check it out on the road. Make sure you watch it at work. Save it. Tell your friends about this one right here. This one is going to be a great one, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. It's about to be a great one. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Prime.
Yo.
Hey, look, man. Prime, what's your real name, bro?
My real name is Demetrius A.
You ain't got to give your last name. You ain't got to give your last name.
Okay, Demetrius. Yeah, man.
Demetrius.
Yep.
And
Bird.
yeah,
Yep.
and you know, do you prefer that people call you Prime or Demetrius? No, probably dude's probably not gonna call you D. For obvious reasons.
You know what, man? I'm cool with whatever, man. I've been called Prime, PPP, D.
I heard
You know,
PPP before, right?
yeah, PPP is like the most notable one. That's kind of the one that I kind of started off with, man. When I start the channel off, this is your boy Demetrius with the PPP Panthers Prime Podcast. So everybody kind of just roll with that, but it really don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah, man. So listen, we got a lot to talk about today. We want everybody to know, Prime, did I send you any pre-questions today?
No, none, no
We're
questions.
gonna do it different today, man. Look, Prime doesn't know what I'm gonna ask him. I didn't send him anything. We want the show from now on to be authentic. I don't want my guests to know what's coming at them, so that you're gonna get a 100% honest answer and honest questions. I mean, obviously, I know what I'm gonna ask him, but I didn't write questions down. I wanted this to be, fluent. You feel me? You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
cool. I'm cool with
I only
that, man.
I wrote one question down. That's like towards the end. You know what I'm saying? With the
Okay,
ends, the
okay,
rapid fire questions. But we'll get it started, man. Look,
facts.
man, I ask everybody. We started every show off with, man. Look, how did you become a Carolina Panthers fan?
Yeah, it seems like a bad thing as of late, right? But
Look,
actually, man, I'm from Miami, Florida, and I moved to Charleston, South Carolina. And big ups to my uncle Kenneth, who's on the way back to Charleston right now. He actually was a Carolina Panthers fan, and I moved in with him, and that was actually in 2003, the great 2003 year when we made it to the Super Bowl. So, I love the energy. I love how the Panthers played, man, and I just fell in love with the team. And from that point forward, I just been a Panthers fan. Big ups to Uncle Kenneth.
Uncle Kenneth made you a Panthers fan.
Uncle Kenneth made me a Panthers fan. Yes, he
Who was
did.
you cheering for the Panthers?
Say what? Who did I cheer for? This is gonna be funny, man. Before the Panthers, I was living in Miami, so everybody was a Dolphins fan. I was like, I'm not gonna follow you guys. So I was a Broncos fan, like not even like a strong one. I just like, nah, bump it. I'm going
No
for the
better.
Broncos.
It's not any better. It's not any better. I was gonna ask you, do you want to go back to that team? But like, it's not any better over there.
Yeah, it's no better. It ain't no better, bro.
That's what's at tight.
Yeah, they doing Russ bad over there, though, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, how do you feel about what's going on with Russell over there, and particularly him being an African American quarterback and having Sean Payton go off on him on the sidelines like that in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't really give a shit what color he is, but just having with everything he's done with his wife and everything they've given back, and then he's known as a soft spoken guy. He ain't rowdy. How did
Yeah.
you feel when you saw the coach, yelling at him like that on the sidelines?
Well, yeah, man. You never want to see that type of stuff going on. Well, with a team, especially if you own a team. So me as a fan looking at it, you kind of think of it as okay. There's a lot of friction going on, but personally, when we look at football, it's that type of environment. Like if I don't get on you, then I'm just allowing you to kind of be complacent in whatever you're doing. So hopefully they built a relationship. I've been seeing a little bit of reports that boom, they may be coming with a deal for a long-term situation with Russ, but it definitely didn't look good optics wise when you saw it live. So I'll say that. But yeah, as far as Russell Wilson, man, I think a lot of people don't like him because he's a pretty positive dude. He ain't got a lot of stuff going on. So, I like Russ. I didn't like Russ when he was with the Seahawks. We kept going back and forth with him. But I mean, he's okay guy to me.
And stand him then, bro. He was
Could stand him,
somebody
man.
sack this dude.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right?
Always getting loose like that. Listen, man. I mean, there's gonna be some things that we're gonna talk about today, man. That's gonna be the obvious. And
Let's do it.
hold your horses out there. Listen, we'll get to the Bryce Young discussions out there for the people that's waiting. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I'm not gonna be involved. I'm telling y'all right now. This is Prime show. I'm let him. I'm not retorting. I'm let him do it, man. Listen, we'll start with the So listen, you were the first person I'm interviewing since all the changes have been made. We brought in Canales, the new GM. Ben Dan Morgan. Um, let's start off with Canales, man. I mean, how you feel about him?
Well,
What he can do for this team.
yeah, well, my initial thoughts on Canellis when we first hired him, I thought it was a premature hire.
Hmm.
I don't see, and still to this day right now, I don't see the link between certain quarterbacks that they've linked him to as far as their success and, just giving him that crown that he's a quarterback guru. I don't see it. Canellis as a person, I like his energy. I like what he brings. Um, it's kind of wait and see type situation. I like that we've gotten younger as far as a coaching staff. I like what I saw, him do with the Tampa Bay offense. I'm not gonna say with Baker because I don't think that there was a direct link at all. I mean, the guy was a wide receivers coach, and I've been saying this when you're at Seattle, that's a system. That's not anything else but a system. And the team's been a 10 plus 10 win team since 2012. So, that's just a system there. So I like Canellis. I think he's going to bring a new flair, a new flavor to Carolina. Plus, I like that he's, kind of opinionated on Twitter/X, I like that. So, so far he's starting to grow on me. I'll say that.
Okay. So, like, I think one of the things I like about him is that, you know, I told people, you know what I'm saying, that I think I like that he's young. I
Mhm.
like that he's a younger coach.
Yeah,
But one of the things, feeding off what you just said, is that I think in this new football era, you have to have coaches that kids can identify with.
absolutely.
And so if he's on Twitter, you know what I'm saying, how do you think, him being on Twitter and being a younger guy, you know what I'm saying, and doing some of the things that the younger guys do, how does that help this team?
Well, I think it's more like a relatability type situation. Being able to relate to your coach. There was such of a age gap between Frank Wright and the current players that we had at the time. We saw Canellis come off the plane with, the sweats, with the no socks, the low top sneakers. He looks like he's one of them. So I think that at least as far as the communication on Twitter, he's active. He knows what's going on. He knows what's being said. Even when it came down to the thing with the NFL honors thing, how he clapped back after that joke. You know what I mean? Saying he got the receipts or whatever. So that to me, that kind of gave me a little bit of like, okay, like I like this dude. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he's a little spunky. So yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, look, man. Look, guys, tonight too, we're also doing something new. If you guys have a question for Prime tonight, please put your question in the chat, and we'll sporadically get to them tonight. I don't want this just to be. I want this to be a different type of interviewing process. Yes, I'll be doing the interviewing, but I know there are questions out there that sometimes people want to know themselves that a lot of interviewers don't ask. So long as it's respectful, we're asking those questions tonight. Is that okay with you, Prime?
Hey, I'm totally fine, man. Hey, I'm just here, man.
There
I'm
you
I'm
go,
here for
man.
I'm here for the people. Yeah,
I want to recognize some of the people that are in here for you today, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That are already in here in the chat. We got Maul that's up in here. Tim Estes is here, man. The great Elizabeth Lassiter is in the
Yeah.
building.
She's a
You know,
member of
Lord,
PPP.
the
Yeah.
Panthers experience. Uncle Quan is in the building. Man, this guy right here, he cheers for another team, but he got mad love for the Panthers, man.
Yeah,
87
yeah.
is in here. Jerome Minor is in
That's
here
my
too.
brother. That's my brother. Appreciate you,
So,
man.
okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jerome Meyer, man. We got Nishi Squirrel 3 in here. You
That's
know what I'm
my
saying?
cousin. Oh snap. I
Cousin
love
of mine.
y'all. Yeah, that's my
You know what I'm
cousin,
saying?
man. Yeah.
They're over here to rep. Eddie Gray is in the building, 704 his brother up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Claire Aries, from the 704 Charlotte Bound Show is up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Keen Jermaine JP, JP Shepard is in the building, man.
That's
The
what's up,
support is
man.
over here, bro.
Appreciate it, man. I really
Support
do.
is
Thank
over
you.
here, man. And much more to join. You know what I'm saying? And A Marshall just popped in here and said, "Hey, what's going on, Panthers family?" You know
Hey
what I'm saying?
Marshall,
Get
what's
back to
up?
it, man.
Let's do it.
Whew. Marty Hearn.
Okay.
Um, um, the GM.
Uh-huh.
Like this, we determined to make this a very positive interview.
Yeah.
Dave Gettleman. You
Yeah.
see where this is going?
I get the drift. I
Scott
get the
Fitter.
drift. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, man. Dave got us to the Super Bowl, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um, do you have any faith in Dan Morgan that he can do anything different? And if different, how and why?
I do believe that Dan Morgan has the ability to get us in the right direction, pointing in the right direction. I'll say this: Dan Morgan was a former player, and when you are a former player, you have the eye test to test what talent is. Dan Morgan being that fierce competitor at the linebacker position was just amazing. And I agree with what he said at the press conference, the introductory press conference for Dave Canellison himself, that he wants dogs. And I've said it on multiple times on multiple platforms, even on yours, my brother, that the linebacking situation here in Carolina is too soft. Yeah, it's too soft. I want to go back to the days of old. And I think that Dan Morgan's going to bring that type of fierce competitiveness here to Carolina. And I really like, what he's going to do. It's time out for everybody who's been just getting a paycheck. And I hope that he points us in that trajectory, going forward as he's the GM and the president of, football operations. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, I tend to agree with everything that you said, except there's an incredible roadblock.
Okay. And I know what it is.
You tell me what the roadblock is.
I think the roadblock is Tepper.
David Tepper.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can sit, listen, we can sit and talk about all the great things that Dan Morgan can do.
Right.
Got me? All the things that he can do. David Tepper said, or he somewhat said, he's going to sit in the background. No need for us to go over all the things that he's done. You know what I'm saying? He's incriminated himself enough.
Right.
But he said he's going to try to sit in the background more or stay out of the distance. Do you believe that at all?
Well, I think that was maybe just for that press conference. I would have to wait and see because we've had six.
Say that one more time, bro.
I think it was just for that press conference.
And you will have to do what?
Huh? I would have to wait and see.
Wait and see.
Yeah, I would have to wait and see because he's had 6 years, and I want to say maybe 4 or I'll say 3 out of those 6 years, he's said that he's going to take a backseat role. He said that and never hasn't done it. I mean, his wife was out there looking at offensive line play. Like, what is Nicole going to do? So, for me, I hope that this new coaching staff has the ability to keep Tepper where Tepper needs to be at. And that's away for the football operations. That's away from any decisions, unless it's dealing with some sort of money or whatever. Tepper doesn't know talent like that. That's why he wasn't doing any type of dealings with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He didn't make the calls over there, and he's trying to make the organization run the way he feels in his mind he needs to do it, but he's not adequate enough to do it. He doesn't have the knowledge. So hopefully he takes a backseat to it and just be an owner, just enjoy your billions of dollars,
Absolutely, man. We'll do this real quick. Because, I mean, I was talking with you when this went down, and, we laughed, but we were pissed off at the same time, man.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Let's rewind the tape.
Okay.
And see if you could think back. And what was your immediate reaction when you saw the video of David Tepper throwing that drink on the fan in Jacksonville?
I'm not gonna lie, my immediate reaction was to laugh. that was my immediate reaction. Then I was like, did he really just do that? And then I saw Scott Fitterer, looking like a statue. Like he didn't want to say nothing, but my first initial reaction was to laugh at it because I mean, Tepper, he
Scott was
just,
the funniest to me, bro.
Scott was like, yo, I can't
Scott was
believe
over there
it.
like, this is just a Tuesday.
Wait till you see a Thursday out of Tepper, right? Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Did it make you ashamed as a fan, like knowing your owner, you know, deals with this, and this is the type of guy that he is, Because us saying that, man, just don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a hard thing to sell, when you do something like that and you throw, a drink on a opposing team's fans and you just walk off like that. It's hard to believe anything that this guy has to say because he's only there just to cover himself. And
Right.
he to this day, I haven't seen an apology yet to that fan. The NFL put a nice, I ain't gonna say a nice fine. It's a nice fine to us, but that's like $3 to Tepper. So,
Billionaires don't apologize.
yeah, they don't apologize. They just keep moving and let it go up under the carpet. So yeah, I mean, it did surprise me. It's been his MO, and he's been very selective on what he said or what he's been saying. I remember his first introductory press conference, how he said he wanted to bring a championship to the Carolinas. Then months later, or a couple years later, talks about a Charlotte FC team, and so it's hard.
Yeah, man. We're gonna try to stay away from that idiot, in this interview. But listen, we got our first question. Comes from Jerome Miner.
Okay.
He says, "Prime, what makes year one a success in your eyes for the new Panthers coaching staff?"
Oh, great question. Great question. For me, I believe that he needs to get Bryce to a even playing field. And what I mean by that is Bryce Young has a couple of inabilities right now that we've seen on tape. Most prevalently the deep ball and just kind of keeping his feet from being too happy. And I believe that those inabilities Dave Canellis can kind of correct and turn those things into assets by taking the pressure off of Bryce Young. I think that year one of Canellis, year two of Bryce, it's about removing all the inabilities that he have and making sure that all those inabilities become assets by giving the ball over to, players that are star players. Give it to your running back, getting the ball out, making sure that the offensive line holds, wide receivers that aren't clearance rack wide receivers that can actually catch the ball and make a play going up the field, and, just get this offense going. I hated the fact that every time we started on the 40-yard line on our side, that we can only make it 20 yards and then have to kick a punt, punt the ball off or barely, get Eddie to score a field goal. So I want to see more offensive play coming, and win percentage, I would say, or win, record. If we can win about 6 to maybe 7, 8 games, maybe, we don't have to win the division year one, but as long as we see some progress and winnable games, and even games that we lose, how did we lose those games? I want to see more competitiveness, because the Miami and the Lions game was utterly disastrous, in my opinion. In the last 2 games of the season where we had a big old goose egg in both of those games. I want to see more competitiveness in these games. So yeah, that's what I think. Year one Canellis, year two of Bryce. That's what I would deem as a successful first year for him.
You know it's coming.
I know. I'm waiting for it. By the way, I'm drinking water.
Let me see that mug again. Bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. New York.
Yeah. There's no greater city.
No greater city. No, and I'm from Miami, but I love New York City, man. I love going down to Times Square and just enjoying the sights and the sounds, man. Yeah, I love it.
Why my Knicks? Let's go, man. Listen.
Your Knicks need some prayer, my brother.
Tyree, look, man, Uncle Quan said Tepper ruined the whole culture here.
Yeah.
and we haven't been right since. And we haven't. I mean, it's so true. I mean, a lot of other people have said this. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, like you said, like I don't believe in temper. You know what I'm saying? I like Carolina Panthers. We got this thing like we like to hold out hope. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I guess you technically can't tell people not to do that.
Yeah.
But in sports, sometimes, when people show you who they are, you just have to believe them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And understand that, look at the Detroit Lions. Look how long it took them to get it together. Look at
Absolutely.
the Cleveland Browns. Look how long it took them to get it together, man.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, the Bengals. Nobody wanted to be a Bengal. Look at the Jaguars and how long it took them to get it. I mean, we could really be in a long stretch like that. And see, I
Absolutely.
think, we've gone to 2 Super Bowls, and if you've been around for both of those Super Bowls,
Mhm.
and the times that we won the NFC South, it spoiled us. And now in our heads, we can't visualize being bad for a long time. But you know why those teams were really, really bad? Because those front offices were really, really bad. And a lot of times they had horrible owners.
Right. Right.
Horrible owners.
And it's reality for the Carolina Panthers. I say anything that's over 2 years is now reality.
It is.
Yeah, it's reality for us. And unfortunately, the 2015, I'll even go back 2014, 2015, all the way up to about 2018 season. The Carolina Panthers were very, very, very relevant. And it was because of Ron Rivera, Cam Newton, and what he established not only as a culture, because I think culture and tradition are two different things, but not only as a culture, but a tradition in Carolina. How there was a winning culture, how there was a level tradition-wise in the office where players were able to speak to front office and give their opinion on things. Cam Newton alluded to this in his podcast that once Tepper came, that door was shut. So we saw a starch change once Tepper came in, that kind of put a wall between players' input and the ears of front office. So, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, man. Very, very intelligent analyst, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm right there with you on everything with that. Shout out to old Mike Lowry in the building, man. What up, bro? You know what I'm saying? My man, old Mike Lowry out there, man. Make sure y'all check that guy out, man. He's got a show called We're Just the Messengers podcast.
Okay.
It was one of my very first. It was my second one-on-one interview in season 1. You know what I'm saying? Great guy. You know what I'm saying? Love him to death. We just collab good. I love his opinions on Panthers and just in life. And just, he's a very unique guy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not a follower, just his unique self. And I love that. What's up, Doug, in the building? What's up, Doug?
What's up, Doug? What's going on,
Doug,
man?
get ready. If you know, you know. Get ready, bro. He said, "What's up, Twan?" We got Kevin Hubbard in here. He said it starts now.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Mike said patience is the key, man. And I'm gonna go to Claire's question real quick. Claire said, "Prime,
Yeah.
with retaining all members of the defensive coaching staff,
Mhm.
how do they achieve success running it back with the possibility of key players not returning?" So, let's go ahead and get into the defense now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to answer a question, the one thing you got to do is you have to find a system that works. And I believe that that's key with anything in life. You have to find a system and a way of doing something. So Evero has had two successful in a microcosmic type of way years that he can hang his hat on showing a system. Okay. Of course, we had a lot of things that were happening in Carolina, a lot of input, a lot of coaching inputs that was just error. But I think the one thing that was consistent was Evero's steadfastness in having a system that was down packed. And I think that's how he continues it going into year 2. A lot of key players are, free agents. And I think that Evero has shown the discipline, the class, and the understanding to build a roster with key players that are going to be advantageous for us to continue to have that same streak we had last year and build on it. We know the run defense was pretty bad last year. So I do I do believe that Evero will bring in players that can shore that up, and you keep the same system that you had, and that's really all it is. Everything in business, everything that you do, is all about systems, and I think that he has a pretty good system that's outlaid or that he outlined for this past year and going forward.
3-4 or 4-3.
Are you asking me which one I like better?
Mm-hmm.
I like the 4-3 better. I only like the 3-4 when I'm playing Madden because I like to user.
Don't work the same way in real life.
Yeah. So real life, I like the 4-3. I like the hands in the. I like four down linemen, defensive linemen in the dirt. I think it just gives you more edge protection in my thoughts. Because the biggest thing when it comes down to where the league is going at, which is the mobile quarterback, we've seen Patrick Mahomes. He loves to exploit the edges. He loves that. And I remember a Carolina Panthers team that had a Greg Hardy when we ran the 4-3, and we shut that down, funnel everything back in the middle, and we have dynamic linebackers, that can make sure that that's a minimal game. So for me, the 4-3, I like it. Now with the 3-4, I'll just explain the 3-4. 3-4 is good, but you got to have some hogs up front because they got to cover a gap and a half, right? So if you're looking at this thing schematically wise, if you don't have someone that can get off blocks and prevent the second level from being exposed, you're going to have a hard day. So you have to look at their roster to make sure that what you have on paper can fit that scheme and can stop the other people's scheme. So, but I love the 4-3. 4-3 to me is the more easier way to stop a lot of things. So, yeah.
Okay. Bring Shaq back or move on for him.
Gosh, Shaq, I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, I've never really been a Shaq fan. I think his best year was maybe 2015.
I only recall one.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very few far and in between that you can kind of put a stamp on it. But I think his best year came. Was that his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the year prior to that.
He had a decent year, and then the year when he cursed everybody out in the locker room, and when he changed his number to number 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Then,
I mean, go ahead. I mean, for me personally, man, like Shaq Thompson, he doesn't possess with what Luke Kuechly and what Thomas Davis embodied. And I'm just going that realm because that's when he came in. He doesn't possess that to me. He's, when Luke Kuechly lined up as middle linebacker, right? He's calling out the plays. He's changing the protections. He's doing this. He's doing that. I mean, it's almost like a cat and mouse game, between the middle linebacker and the quarterback. And I don't see that from Shaq. I don't see the dynamic plays. I see missed tackles. Anytime Luke Kuechly was on you or coming towards you, he was getting the sack or the strip, one of the two. And even when it came down to, the pass, for me, it's like Shaq Thompson almost just lets him catch it and then try to tackle them wherever they're at. He doesn't try to break the ball up from being a completion. And that's a problem for me. So for me, deuce.
All right, man. Here's a real popular question, man. What's a popular question? It's stirred up a lot of debate. Everybody at this point knows how I feel.
Okay.
You want to find out how you feel about this situation.
Let's do it. Let's
break this question down into some parts. Brian Burns.
Yes.
We've seen Brian Burns at his best, 2-time Pro Bowler. Great at his position, and then he's asked to go into a 3-4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've continuously and arguably told people either the guy's never played linebacker. People say that's his natural position. That's just another way that I know that people just talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The man never played linebacker in a Florida State ever. That's my other team, having played ball there, you know what I'm saying, and just know everything about Florida State. Never, ever did he play linebacker. Not once, unless he was somewhere where he wasn't supposed to be.
Right.
So, with all the natural, that's his natural position. That's just people just saying stuff.
Right,
His
right.
natural position is his fingers down in that damn dirt,
Mm-hmm.
or no dirt at all, up on both feet, ready to go back there and get the quarterback.
Yeah.
Uh, so Burns,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think Brian Burns is worth? You're the GM. What are you paying him? Give me a maximum and a minimum, and then we'll talk about the tag after that. Because I hear everybody, so many people, they acting like the money is coming out of their pockets.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and our cap space situation is very, very minimum. This year, man, I don't think Burns is worth no more than about 2022 maybe a year. If I was to do it, if I'm GM, my personal beliefs, I think we let Burns go, tag trade, or just let him go. I know that's maybe not the most advantageous thing to a lot of players, but when I look at when I look at the assets that
I'm
Brian,
putting you up there like that because I don't want you
oh,
to see my face.
no, you could. When I look at
No.
when I look at what Brian Burns could have reeled us, which was two first round picks, and how we kind of fumbled the bag when it came down to the trading him. I know Chicago wanted him, the Rams wanted him, a couple other teams wanted him. Unfortunately, that ship probably has sailed for that. He made a couple statements that I think was kind of a eyebrow raise. That he said he played in fear. So it's almost like, okay, well, will you ever give your all if you feel like you can? Because anytime you step on the field, you're going to risk an injury. I don't care. Like that's my fear when my son goes out and plays, that he may risk an injury playing. But you have to go out there and you have to give your best because you're a multimillionaire. You signed a contract. So for me, I will feel better with letting Burns go. If we can get something back for him, that's fine. If the Panthers want to give him a deal, team-friendly deal, then let's do it. But the one thing I will say, the production has to increase. All right, it just has to. I like Burns. I don't have no ill will towards him, but he has to perform better. What it was, 9 sacks last year. So I mean, how the year went. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Burns.
Brian, that was cute. It was real cute.
I mean, but it was true though. It was true.
We said we was gonna keep it real. Hey, that man said he played in fear.
Yeah.
And he knew exactly what he meant.
Yeah.
That man said he played in fear because I don't want to risk getting myself hurt.
Yeah.
For a 2-15 team.
Mm-hmm.
And in no way am I promoting to anybody out there listening or kids that be listening that you give up. But when something's your job and that's how you earn and your money and feed your family, I ask you, Prime, how hard would you go with a team with everything that was going on with this team, man? And the whole the Hunger Games report, how hard would you go? Knowing that this team, like, bro, this team is
Yeah.
we ain't gonna win, bro. And then is Brian Burns the only player that's ever been in a situation where he's with this on a losing team, basketball, football, baseball, whatever, and it's just like, why am I gonna go this hard for a team that's not even trying to win? And this owner we got, and this GM we got, and this head coach, hey, but y'all want me to kill myself?
Yeah. I'll say this. Sometimes it's best to keep things a little close to the chest and not speak at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said it though. I agree with that.
I wouldn't have said it. if I thought it, I was just going to do it because I mean we saw the product that was on the field, so you really didn't have to say it because we saw what the outcome was of the 2023 season. But me personally, uh, I coach flag football, right? And I remember this may have been my second year coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean we was bad, but each and every week I uploaded the plays, gave the guys a scheme, went out there and coached, and we put up an effort. Lost almost every game, except for the last one. But each and every time we stepped on the field, we was competitive. All right. And
Right.
I think that and it kind of goes to what Dion, Coach Prime said, you know, they got all this money now and you know, uh, they play. I don't want to have to force grown men to play. You know what I mean? Because you've already hit the pinnacle of what you want to hit since you were 7, 6, 5 years old. You
Mm-hmm.
got to that place. So now you're complacent because there's nothing else left to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I get it, what did anybody have to go for, or what was the ultimate goal in the 2023 Panthers season? Nothing. We was 2-15. I mean, we had a horrible, coach, bad owner, no chemistry, lots of people talking. We had a mole in the team. You know what I mean? We had the
Goals
owners
with
what
the S. No way, no one guy.
moles with an S. Yeah. A couple of them. I think Chris Tabor was one of them, but that's everybody's guy, whatever. But I think it was Chris Tabor and James Campion and a couple other people. But how can you find enough resolve in you to block all that stuff out and just play?
Mm-hmm.
And some people can, some people can't. I seen one person who didn't stop at all, which was Big Derek Brown. So
Yeah. They're
you know
Brown trying to get paid.
that's true. But
Can't lay off. Listen. So
Mhm.
with me saying that, let me put you in a different scenario.
Yes, sir.
And this is with Burns again. Brian Burns tells the Carolina Panthers and his team, we're trying to get paid this.
Right.
Carolina Panthers do what they always do. They don't like playing players. Am I right?
Yeah.
They don't like paying players. Let's just start right there.
Yeah.
The man says, could have easily sat out, right? He could have sat out and caused trouble, right?
He could.
He could have did that.
He could have did that.
Bosa was going to do that. He could have
Mhm.
did that. But what did he do? He said, I'm going to play. And then when he
Mhm.
said, when I start playing, I don't want nobody asking me questions about money. I need to dedicate myself to my team, right?
Right.
But what he did not sign up for, Prime, was
Mhm.
2-15. And then he went out here, and we're going to get into this conversation,
Yeah.
and told the whole world that Bryce Young is the truth
He did.
in practice.
He did.
In practice. He
He
said he's
did.
going to be a problem. We found that out in a different way. It
He
was a
did.
problem.
Yeah.
Not the way Brian Burns was trying to say it, though.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so, I guess they were still kind of talking about the contracts or whatever. So I'm telling people like this: put yourself in Brian Burns' shoes, because that's what
Yeah.
I try to do with
Mhm.
any player when we're critiquing a player. Right? I'm trying to say to myself, because I don't think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people make arguments as themselves, and then they never say, "But what if I was in that position?" So put yourself in that position.
Right.
He did start the year off straight. He was playing
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. It was playing pretty
But
good.
it became glaringly clear what the Carolina Panthers was going to be about as the year kept going on.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, yeah.
this
Yeah.
man hasn't gotten his money yet, Prime.
Understood.
So why am I going to kill myself? It'd be different if we was going to the playoffs. That's different.
Right.
For a team, I'm not going to the playoffs. I'm not going to no Pro Bowl. This team is going to have one of the worst records that they've ever had. What's my incentive to risk injury?
Right. Well, here's the problem with that.
Okay.
Brian Burns placed that type of attention on himself by saying, "I'm going to play, then sit out." So when you say you're going to play, you're going to play. You didn't say you was going to play with any type of stipulations. So Unfortunately, when you make that decision and tell the team that you're not going to sit out, I expect 110%, regardless of what the record is.
Did everybody give 110% on that team?
No, no. But guess what? Did anybody else vocalize why they didn't play hard?
Was everybody else in the situation where it was time for them to get paid?
No, that's not. No, they
This is
wasn't.
the
They wasn't.
story.
Yeah, but see, when I look at it and I compartmentalize everything, Brian Burns placed himself in that position. If Brian Burns would have just sat out or didn't play, then we would have known. Listen, the guy wants to get paid. Pay the guy. But you said that you was going to play, and then you said afterwards I was afraid to go 100% because I was going to risk injury. Why even say it in the first place?
Yeah, because I wish he hadn't said that, but
yeah, that's my only point. Like,
I'm trying to tell y'all, man, I wouldn't play hard for no damn 2 or 15 team.
no, I got you. I get it.
That little, okay, we'll save it. We'll save that dude on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the Panthers just wasn't set up for success this year. Big kudos again up to Evero, but the Panthers as a whole just wasn't set up for success.
Yeah. JP says you're playing for your family and your future financial security. First and foremost, the team just happens to suck.
Yeah. I mean, every time I go out this door, I'm going 110% for what I got to go 110% for, and it's not because I'm afraid of getting on I-77 and getting an accident, or when I get on this bus and having an issue. No, I don't think about that. I think about going out here and making it happen the way I need to make it happen to take care of my family. So, yeah, I agree. That's what you do it for.
Elizabeth Lassiter says the whole Burns situation is jacked up. Front office looks stupid. Said we value Burns too much to trade him. Man, she's already just doing it right now, bro.
Yeah.
The whole Burns situation is jacked up.
Yeah, it is, man.
Stupid. Said we value Burns too much to trade him. But you didn't want to pay him. You valued him too much to trade him, but you didn't want to pay him.
Right.
But still didn't pay him.
Yeah.
If they tag him, they still look silly. And I'm trying to tell y'all, and at least in my next question. I'm telling you right now, Prime, I think they 100% absolutely going to do it. I've been saying it. I think that they're going to do it. I know it's going to happen. They're going to tag him. How do you feel about that if they do tag him?
To be honest with you, I believe it'll be a tag.
You got to pay him like $22 million or something like that for the tag?
Yeah. It's like 22.5 or 0.9, something like that. But I mean, listen, if they do it, I think we have more glaring issues than just a Brian Burns on this team, and I get it.
Know we do, but
yeah. So for me personally, it's like, why do it when we can possibly use that money and get 2 edge rushes or whatever, or something. I don't know, man. Like for me, the Brian Burns situation, it can go so many ways, man. And I get leery when a person tell me that they don't want to do something because of this right here. Because I listen, at my job, I do a lot of training and stuff, and I see people's production. And when people don't want to do something, it's very, very evident. But guess what? You signed up for this. You know what I mean? And I fault the Carolina Panthers for not making a trade if they're thinking about doing that coming up. Mm-hmm. And I fault Brian Burns for not standing on his 2 and saying, I don't want to be a distraction, when you probably should have been a distraction and just said, listen, I want my money. Okay. But don't say I'm going to play and then don't play, then make a statement saying, well, I was afraid to play because I didn't want to get hurt. You're throwing mixed signals, my dude.
He said something that a lot of players believe but just don't say. You feel me? I mean, a lot of players feel that way. You know what I'm saying? They're just not going to say it. I know that. You and I both know every football player in the league. Probably 98% of them are going to come out and agree with Brian Burns. But that's got more to do with the culture,
Yeah.
of football now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Opposed to back, in the day where like if you had a broken wrist, you'd be out there still playing. You have a broke rib and be out there like they couldn't keep you out of the game.
Look at Thomas Davis, Super Bowl.
Yeah,
What?
different now. It's different now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man.
listen, I think that was a great discussion with Brian Burns. Like, I feel I'm over here, and then uh, I think a lot of other people are over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really see like the one thing about the Burns situation. I don't really see this healthy median about it or middle.
There is
And
none.
but it's okay. It's okay
Yeah.
for it to be
Yeah.
that way. It's
Yeah.
okay for everybody not to agree. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's the wonderful thing about sports. That's the wonderful thing about these one-on-ones that I do too, man. Is
Yeah,
so
man.
people can find out, you know what I'm saying, how people think
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
what goes on with the Carolina Panthers, and
Yeah.
maybe they agree with you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. My short time being a podcast, I realized that I can't please everybody.
Burn that shit.
And I just got to stand on what I say. And, I've been called everything sometimes besides a child of God. But
Let's go there, man. Let's go there.
let's go there. Let's go there.
Let's go there. When did you decide you wanted to be a podcaster? And this is for all the podcasters that are watching now. Ask a couple podcast questions. When did you decide you wanted to be a podcaster?
Yeah. So,
For the Carolina Panthers.
for the Carolina Panthers. Yeah. Yeah. So,
For the Carolina Panthers. What made
right.
you say? Because people will ask me this question one day too. What made you say I want to be a podcaster for this raggedy ass team?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the hazard pay job, right? Why would
Right.
you want to do that?
Like,
But I
are you
mean,
giving it your all prime, huh? With all the snooze that we doing? Are
yeah,
you giving? No, we as podcasters ain't giving it all because like it's downtime right now.
yeah,
Are we
it's
giving
that.
110%? No,
No, I feel you. I feel
no,
you,
we
man.
not.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I understand, man. But my so I want to say it may have been like 2018. Came up on a podcast that was called Keep Pounding TV, with Big Cat. And listened to it a lot, man. And that was 2018. And listened to a couple other people, man. Of course, P&P, those guys over there. And I want to say maybe like 2022. No, I'll go back to 2020. Yeah, about 2022. I said, I have a pretty good visual understanding on how to do media and stuff like that. And I don't know because sometimes when you do videos, you have to talk almost to yourself, but you have to imagine that you're talking to your subscribers. And that was a situation that was kind of scary for me at first. But I knew I had an opinion about the Panthers. Even going back to the time when Cam Newton in that season where he got hurt in the shoulder and couldn't throw no more than like 10, 15 yards down the field. I had a strong opinion. I was doing like lives on Facebook back in like 2017, 2018 or whatever. So didn't really get into the whole YouTube thing until I started seeing Unc, what's his name? Black Cat Panther podcast and, a couple other guys, Dunk on Demand, Aaron Duncan, all them cats, man. I just started watching all these cats, man. I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. So it really was
704 Charlotte Bound show. So what you trying to tell me?
No, I didn't catch the 704 Charlotte Bound show until
man, ended the interview, man. Shout out to everybody.
Yo, but
let me get this off my screen.
No, let me tell you. So I caught your show. It may have been my second video that I did, which was about I think it was when we got either Sean Jefferson as a position coach or D'Angelo Hall. That's when I came across your show. And I think that you were doing a Twan Don versus everyone. I can't remember which one it was, but it was early on in the season, like in the off season, right after we got Frank Wright, and you was talking about that. And, just getting myself familiarized with the landscape of the Panthers podcasters, even the ones that are on Twitter that don't really have a YouTube, like, you know, Yashina Quick, Vashti, all them people, you know what I mean? Just getting myself acquainted with it. But I knew I had an opinion about the Panthers. I knew I didn't have, in a sense, the following at the time, but I knew I had something to say. So
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of just threw myself out there with anything that I normally do. It's on the job training, and I'm still right now learning how to be a podcaster. Like I don't have it. Like I would say I'm probably like 25% down what I know how to do, but the 25% that I know how to do, I do it well, and I do it
Mm-hmm.
repeatedly, and I make a system out of it. So that's how I became a podcaster for the beautiful Carolina Panthers.
Look, man, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Because we're gonna give it to everybody raw.
Yeah.
Uh,
Pause.
yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm too fucking grown to do that pause shit. Shit. You don't know I love women by now. Cimarrones. I don't even entertain that shit.
Yeah, nah, I know you don't. I know you don't, man.
Hey, grow up.
Right, right.
Um, what's since you've been podcasting, man? What's been the good things? And this is a good question. You know what I'm saying? Answer it how you like. What have been the good things that you've seen about podcasting with the Carolina Panthers, particularly Carolina Panthers podcasters? And some of the bad things, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to name anybody's names or anything, but it's some great shit going on and some negative shit going on.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying? Name some
I
of the things that you've seen or maybe you think could be changed, or you know what I'm saying, or like kind of both sides, touch both sides of it.
yeah, I think I came in at a more advantageous period, so I'm talking about the good side right now. I came in at a time where we had a lot of media coverage. Bryce Young, number one pick. Who we're going to pick? We got the number one pick. We trade up from 9 to 1, that type of situation. So at that time, viewership was extremely high, and the push to find information about the Carolina Panthers was extremely like searchable, in my opinion. So I think that for me, the best thing was at that time, because it has changed. The best thing at that time was it was easy to move into this sector because I had a lot of media coverage that was going on. Now, I think right now, the best thing right now about being a podcaster for the Carolina Panthers is just the aspect of us trying to figure out how we're going to turn this page. Because to me, that's more adventurous. Because I'm a type of person that try to find the good in everything. That's more adventurous in trying to create content that's not only spicy in a sense, but
Mm-hmm.
that's also positive as well. Like I did a podcast where I said Bryce Young would definitely have a sophomore rise. And then I list some reasons why I thought, it's hard to try to find that type of stuff. But when you look at the, trajectory of how, Canellis has done with the Bucks as far as offensive coordinator and us getting Dan Morgan as the, GM, you can kind of see it. Now, the bad things that I've seen about podcasting is, first of all, this is with anything. Everybody has an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, me, you, your grandma, your dad, everybody has an opinion. And all you have to do is type, hit send. And it takes a very strong person to look at it, give it a heart, give it a thumbs up, and keep it
Mm-hmm.
pushing. Everybody has an opinion on what you say, yet they are far removed from the game as a 30-degree winter storm is from an 80-degree tropical climate. You know what I mean? I mean, they're just so far away from each other. So, it takes a lot of resolve in a person to look at a comment and say, all right, whatever, but I think people, and like I said, this goes with anything. Everybody just has a freedom of speech. And sometimes, you have to look at the comment and say, all right, whatever. And then you have this thing within the podcast world, because I've seen it now. I've been in it for about a year, and, it's about a year now, a little over a year, where in some cases you have your guys who are more cliquish and a little bit more reserved from speaking to other people. Because for me personally, I don't care who you are. If you're talking about the Carolina Panthers, I'm going to throw a comment in there and say, keep pounding, great show. Throw a super chat in there, drop a super, because I believe in unity first and foremost. I believe in the assembling yourselves together, even though we may have different viewpoints of it. I don't hate you, and you shouldn't hate me based upon it. If I'm saying Bryce Young didn't throw the ball well, or you said Bryce Young threw the ball well, we shouldn't be at odds for that. So I've seen a lot of that going on this year, even when it came down to the overall pick. Like, there was a lot of Bryce fans, a lot of CJ Stroud fans. I was a CJ Stroud fan. I was at FanFest. Both hands in 2 feet, right? Yeah. I was a CJ Stroud fan, and just that lead up to that. I mean, I did a couple of videos where it's like 3 reasons why Bryce Young would not be drafted number 1 pick for the Carolina Panthers, and I got so much, whatever. But that's just how it is. So, I don't think it's ever going to change. Everybody's going to have an opinion, and everybody's going to have emotions based on their opinion. So, those are kind of the pros and cons about being a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well go to it.
Let me do something else again with the podcast and stuff. Before, it's a segue.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's in the chat. I'm asking you guys this question too. Have you ever seen a player cause so much divide amongst a fan base that hasn't accomplished anything yet? I say yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he won't. Where people talk to each other so nasty, so disrespectfully. I've been on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? And I voiced my opinion about Bryce. And bro, I mean, unless you've been out of a rock, bro, I'd have had a whole coat come after me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But look, that's the fun of it for me, man. It's funny for me because I'm like, listen, I'm gonna keep just saying how I feel. I'm not gonna stop.
Right.
I think people realize Swan ain't running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depending on what he believes in, you know what I'm saying? And until he sees it, this is just how he's going to present.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Are some of these Bryce fans unhealthy mentally?
Well, I wouldn't say mentally unhealthy.
Say it one more time. Are some of these people mentally unhealthy when it comes to their love for Bryce Young?
Well, you know what? I won't say that. I think that there's a level of I would say illusion.
I'm gonna give you time to think about that one.
No, I mean, I think that there's a level of illusion and a level of fandom that everybody has with their.
I'm not talking about the fans. I'm not talking about the fans. The Bryce fans, logically.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to have a love for that player in order to talk the way that you talk about it. It's almost like the Stephen A. Smith thing with the Dallas Cowboys, right? It don't matter what their record is. Each year they think that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Don't matter what they've done, they're going to the Super Bowl. So when I look at people who believe,
it ain't on this Bryce level, bro. It ain't on this Bryce level.
Well, I've seen a lot of people, and listen, I've even expressed myself on Bryce. I know that Bryce wasn't 100% of the issue, but Bryce was a contributing factor to why Bryce wasn't able to perform the way Bryce needed to perform. It wasn't just offensive. Well, like I said, it wasn't just offensive line. It just wasn't wide receivers. It wasn't just that. It was, but there was a lot of misassignments. But it also was Bryce. I can remember 2 notable times right now in the Green Bay Packers game where Bryce missed a wide open DJ Chark, twice in the end zone. Now everybody's gonna say, well, he threw the best percentage wise. I think he threw like 300 or something yards that game. But because his feet were happy, he missed out on someone who was wide open in the end zone. So, and Bryce Young creates his own pressures as well. And I say that with the understanding that the offensive line gave up structural, barriers, When I look at an offensive line, I grade on the distance between where that defender is to where that quarterback is. We've seen Patrick Mahomes have about sometimes 5 to 8 feet between him and a defender, and you just didn't see that separation consistently here in Carolina. But there was times where you did see it, and Bryce may have held the ball because maybe his first read, second read wasn't there, and he'll run out and get a strip sack, because we saw those things happen, right? So it's not like it's fluff. But I think to the extreme of those who really overlook the inabilities of Bryce and what Bryce has done that has been poor, I think that you're doing yourself a disservice, because if you're going to talk about anything dealing with the Carolina Panthers, you have to be objectively real, not subjectively. You have to be objectively real, and stats matter. You have to look at all those things. So as much blame as I give the offensive line and how bad they played, I have to give it to Bryce too, because Bryce Young didn't help himself. I remember one play, Bryce Young threw a backwards pass. I think that was in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, or against the Saints. So, there's a lot of things that have happened on both sides, with this. So for those who solely believe in Bryce Young and that he has done no wrong, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. And I think the ones that think that Bryce Young has done all the wrong, you're doing yourself a disservice as well.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
What does Bryce Young do great?
Bryce Young and listen.
Need a couple minutes.
Listen, gosh, man, I think.
And I'm not saying good. What does he do great? Well, you know what? That's too hard of a question. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
What does he do good? What does he do good?
Yeah, because great right now, and I'm being honest, great right now just shouldn't be,
Yeah, that's why I put it back.
Yeah. Good. I think that he's calm. He's calm under pressure. Okay, that's the first thing. When given opportunity to have time, and I know that his time in the pocket is probably one of the most average-wise highest in the league, like 2 point something seconds. But when given time, and when given, the ability to get the ball out, he gets the ball out. He's effective when he has that. Short range, medium throws, spot on. Bryce Young, to me, when he gets hot, and we see him get, the short to medium passes, they're spot on. I'll give him that. You wouldn't give him that? I mean, it's a small sample size, but if I'm trying to give him something that he does do well, I have to give. I mean, we have seen some plays where, and I do short to medium range, anything between the line of scrimmage to about 15 to 20 yards down the field. I mean, that was his bread and butter, most predominantly to the sideline. So I'll give him that. And as of late in the season, I don't know about the last two games, but I started to see him get a little bit more speed. He started to become a little bit hard to tackle and became a little bit more elusive in the pocket. So, I mean, those are just a couple of things that you can kind of pull from to say, hey, I see his potential. It ain't all the way there yet. I'm going to wait and see, because I know that there was just bad circumstances as well that enabled a lot of that stuff to happen. So I'll say those things about Bryce. Yeah.
Quick question. Quick statement, real quick, guys. Tonight, if you feel compelled to give any money to the show, please do that, man. Please hit us up on the Cash App, or if you want to send a super chat, please send a super chat to this show right here, or you can send the Cash App to $TUANDON Twandon37. Every piece of money that we get tonight, all the proceeds will be going to Panthers Prime.
Oh, thank you.
All of it. That man has blessed us with this interview, and it's going to all go to him, as well with all the guests that I have on with Twandon versus everybody. So, anything you're giving to me is going to go to him. Or, Prime, tell them what your Cash App number is.
Yeah, Cash App is $DBYRD79. So that's DBird79 Cash App.
And if you want to just send a super chat, then all that money, any super chats that you guys send tonight, all that money will go to Panthers Prime. You know what I'm saying? And for him being over here today and blessing us with his presence, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Let's continue on with Itty Bitty Bryce.
Okay. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. How do you feel about when Nick Saban said, I had to change my offense at Alabama to fit Bryce Young? I know you heard it.
I
What
heard
were
it.
you thinking when you heard it?
Of course, me being a CJ Stroud fan, I always at that time I try to find the issue with Bryce for not being the number one pick for the Carolina Panthers. And for me, there was a couple of things. That was one of them. But as I've grown in understanding certain things, the one thing I'll say is this, and I'll come back to that. I'll say this. A good coach is always going to figure out the inabilities of a player, right? And make those inabilities null and void and just focus on the strengths of a person or a player. And I feel like Nick Saban tried to do that. You know what I mean? And that's something that I'm saying Canellis needs to do as well. There's things that Nick Saban probably wanted to do with past quarterbacks that he wanted to do with Bryce, but understood he probably couldn't. So it takes a smart head coach to realize that and to alter his way of coaching and his play scheme to fit the current players at hand. So at one point it was a knock, but then I thought about it with how Nick Saban was and how any coach should be. You want to adjust with what you have there. So, I mean, that's how I felt, but I kind of feel a little differently now about it.
So, the thing that you said is absolutely correct. Is this, and again, this is two parts, and this is why I'm gonna tell you what I don't blame Bryce for. One of the things Prom said is you have to build your team. Like if you're gonna go get a quarterback, then a lot of times you have to have put that quarterback in a scheme or build it the way like it was built most of the time like it was in college, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To help him out so that he's not doing a whole lot of changes when he goes to the NFL, right?
Okay. Yep.
But did we do Bryce a disservice by bringing him to the Carolina Panthers, not running a scheme or anything that he's used to, and not having a team built like Nick Saban tried, like attempted to do, you know what I'm saying, or whatever? Because it's just like I never thought Bryce Young fit. And see, like I get on him, I say my Bryce Young shit, but like to be on like, in a real football conversation and an intellectual conversation, I
Right.
just never thought Bryce Young fit with whatever we were trying to do on offense. And I think Bryce would look. See, look, I'm gonna tell you something powerful, man. And y'all gonna have to think about this when I say it. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. The worst thing that ever happened to Cam Newton was signing with the Carolina Panthers.
Why you say that, Twan?
It was the worst thing because we didn't do anything for his career. He would have been so much better somewhere else where people gave a damn. Where they built more things around him. The Carolina Panthers was like, oh, we don't need to get a line because Cam can just do whatever. He's a bigger quarterback and
Okay.
boom, boom, boom. So we're just going to do this or whatever. And like his career wound up suffering from that. Sometimes the worst thing that players do is signing with the team that they're with. Cam Newton would have been more of a legend if he went to a team that cared more about winning and they built more and put more people around him that could play. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just assuming he could get it all done by himself because he can't. The thing with Bryce Young is a lot of Bryce Young fans came in saying Bryce can do all like 10 things, he can do all this stuff, and he's not showing that he can do any of it. And I think that's why a lot of people that are on Bryce is like, y'all try to sell us on all the shit that he can do that he can't do. And like, and the thing is, if he don't have his toys around him, how's he gonna get it done?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you know,
So him signing with the Panthers, yeah,
mhm.
you get your money, but ask yourself, is when I'm going to the Carolina Panthers, is that situation or is that scheme over there conducive to how I play?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Because damn, it seemed like we kind of got away from the run game or some shit, something that we've always been known for. That double back system.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
they was, oh, he could pass his way out, he could scramble out of anything or whatever. Well, somehow that line before him played well. But when he got there, that line played horrible.
Hmm.
It don't just happen like that. Like something happened. And I just don't think Bryce fit into that scheme. So Canales may have to change the entire offensive scheme.
Yeah. I mean, I believe he will have to. I don't think that when you go back to the 2022 team, that Steve Wilkes kind of resurrected,
Mm-hmm.
it was relying on uh, big personnel, heavy run, pass when needed.
Right.
And the pass when needed was effective because he wasn't placed in a "I am the guy" type of role. Bryce Young was placed in the "I am the guy" type of role, and we never fit. We never changed what we needed for him to be successful in that. So we got away from the run, and I know everybody remembers I was so hard on this Deuce Daly wanting Miles Sanders to start week 1 when I knew he couldn't. That was just a foolish decision by the head coach and the assistant coach.
Mm-hmm.
And we placed Bryce in a position where where we made the number one pick be the number one pick, but we didn't change the scheme around. I was screaming, if you put Bryce in a system where you got some motion, maybe some play action, roll him out, because at that point, your offensive line can't give him a wall when he's just 3-step dropping back, or he don't really do a 3-step drop. He really do like a 2-step walk back. So he doesn't give himself enough space as it is. The offensive line is not holding. Why not create some motion? If you remember that Miami game, the first 2 drives, we had pre-snap motion, roll out, play action with the running back, Bryce rolling out, hitting the crosser or whatever. Those type of things I felt were needed for Carolina to do going into this season, at least going past the first 3 games, because the Atlanta Falcons, the Seattle Seahawks, and the New Orleans Saints just totally exposed everything that Frank Wright was trying to do. I mean, totally exposed it.
Mm-hmm.
So the
playbook was trash.
the playbook was trash. The inability to switch, make adjustments second half was very, very noticeable. And it reeked of old mentality, not willing to change. And unfortunately, you had old mentality with this presented Maybach, and it just couldn't drive it. And that's
Well,
really all it was.
that man, you're absolutely right, bro. Listen, so it's just like I think you hit the nail on the head when you said with the Stephen A. Smith in the way he acts towards with Cowboys fans, and I think that's how a lot of people are in our fan base. They don't really care for Bryce. It's like that with Bryce Young fans. It's just like Bryce hasn't done anything yet, and you guys are ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let him do something first. And then me personally, when I thought Bryce Young fans were out of their fucking mind, was when they started making their rounds to different podcasts after that the game when Bryce just played his ass off, Green Bay,
Green Bay.
right? They
Mm-hmm.
were showing up on everybody's show, right? And I was like, we lost. We
well,
didn't win.
I'll say this because
Who the hell does that?
throw me in that category, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Panther fan for one,
But
and
we didn't win.
we did not win the game. We didn't. But what it did was it showed us how at least competitive this team can be. I never
Y'all saw.
thought.
Let me tell you what happened. Y'all
Uh-huh.
saw what it can be.
Right. What it can be, not what it was going to be the rest of the season.
Yep.
What it could be, because the very next game, who did we play? Was it who was it? Who did we play? I think when we did Green Bay. Did we go to? We played New Orleans. We played the 3-game NFC South. I think we had Green Bay. Was it the Jags? And then whatchamacallit? And then Tampa Bay again, or something like that.
Might have been the Jags.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Jags, then Tampa Bay. I mean, we totally regressed. Because they had CJ Beathard, and I was like, if the Panthers can stop CJ Beathard, we can do it just like how we did the Packers, and of course we know what happened in that game. CJ Beathard just unleashed on us. So yeah.
Oh man, Quan said great point. PPP.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
JP said Twan said Brian up. I'm not. Nah, he gonna stick by his guy, man. Respect my gangster is in here. And Quan said, but would you not want to base your system around your quarterback? Not always in the NFL. No. The damn when Trent Dilfer was at with Baltimore, they ain't build shit around him. You know what I'm saying? He said no matter who's your quarterback, you got to have your offense to their strengths. Of course, you have to create an offense for your quarterback. And oh yeah, I can't forget this because I was laughing earlier about the Nick Saban thing. You know, JP is
Yeah. JP holding everybody accountable. Yeah.
His team suffered because of his switch to helping Bryce as well. Listen, man, should the Carolina Panthers build on offense a system for any quarterback, or should they build for Bryce Young? This coming up draft.
I believe that
you build specifically for him and take that risk, or do you build for whatever quarterback is to come?
Well, that's really if we do this, then we have to do this type of answer. So if Canellis came in saying that he can definitely, well, at least try to get Bryce on the right track. So I would say what Canellis needs to do is, for the year one, evaluate, build a structure, a play, scheme around what Bryce can do, and mid-season, you got your different, dates that you have, things that you want to kind of see. So from week 1 to week 6, how do we do? Week 6 to week 10, how do we do? We change this up or whatever. I think that's something that Canellis needs to look at, because if what he's doing isn't working and he knows that it's a good scheme and it's Bryce, I think year 2, you need to start looking at maybe building a scheme for pick and drop. Any quarterback can come in, or any player can come in, and start building that system. But year 1, with him saying, and with so much media coverage that's been going around with Canellis and, the whole quarterback guru, he got to live up to that, because the media has been saying it. All these players, all these coaches that he's been with has been saying it. So you got to live up to that now. You got to try to get Bryce on the right track. And then at some point in the season, if it doesn't work out, you have to yourself, Dave Canellis, figure out how to get this to a quarterback-friendly system that any quarterback can come in and kind of thrive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Prime, the floor is yours, man.
Okay.
I want you to sell all the Bryce Young non-believers, such as myself, and because I want all Bryce fans to say, and I want people to be able to say, Twan he does the show fair. He does. It's not just about, what I think or whatever. Sell us all on why we shouldn't give up on Bryce Young and what's to come for him.
Yeah, I think right now, if you're looking to try to give up on Bryce, I think you're kind of a little premature on it. Year 1 of Bryce, first of all, he's a rookie, and we understood the situation that was surrounding him. Reports came out that there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of ears, a lot of moles, a lot of things going on with upper management that wasn't really conducive for any player, let alone your number 1 star, drafted quarterback, to thrive. So we saw the inabilities of Bryce. We saw the reasons why some of those inabilities were highlighted. Bad offensive play, bad wide receiver play, no separation. And then we saw Bryce Young not be comfortable as he needs to be in the pocket and turn over the ball quite a bit of times. Took a lot of sacks, 62 sacks. So that's not winning formula. But we did see some great things from Bryce, and we did see what this team last year was capable of, even though it was a small sample size. We saw it in the Atlanta game, how Bryce Young put together that 90-something yard drive, and then again to get us down to winning or try to tie up the game against the Packers. So I don't think you write Bryce off right now. I think you give it one more year to kind of evaluate Bryce with a new system, a new uh, at least tradition and culture that's getting ready to start to be drummed up here in Carolina, and just give him one more year. Give Bryce one more year up under Canellis. Let's see if Canellis can be smart enough to provide us with the best scheme that'll fit Bryce and the Carolina Panthers. So give him one more year. He may surprise you.
There it is, man. There it is, bro. Hey, look, man, he's made the claim. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna give him one more chance because I ain't got a fucking choice. But look, man. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I won't. I've never wished any bad for Bryce. I want him to be
Right.
successful. I want him to make me eat crow, bro. I really do. I want him to make me eat crow. I want
Absolutely.
him to put me in a situation people go, aha, Twan, like he turned out to be great. You know what I'm saying? Look
Right.
what he out
Yeah.
here doing, man. He 11 and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? I'm gonna be able to say the jokes on you because I cheer for the Carolina Panthers. I
So
want him to
either
be
way,
good.
I win.
Yeah, either way, I win, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
got you.
listen, yeah, I'm still not buying no jerseys no time. So, but
Oh
listen.
man, yeah, yeah.
Nah, okay. You got to give me 5 years with that, man. I got to get 5.
Yeah, no,
Prime, hey,
absolutely.
tell us something about yourself, man, that most people don't know.
Yeah, man. So a lot of people don't know that I'm a musician. I play bass guitar, and I've been doing that for since about 2006. I got another channel. Haven't really been posting too much stuff on there, but it's called D Bird Music 79. Got a
Mm,
couple clips on there, and yeah, I play bass. I'm also, in church. I'm a minister of the gospel as well, and that's probably why most of the times you don't see profanity on my channels, because that's just something that I don't do. And
I'm,
you know,
I'm a
I
heathen. I'm such a heathen.
he's not.
You know,
Twan's a good brother.
I try to behave around Prime, man, out of respect for him. So,
Oh no, it's cool. And you know what, man? Some people may see me on other platforms. Of course,
mm,
I don't use profanity, but you may see, me get riled up and debating some things. But I'll never get disrespectful. I'll never call no
mhm,
one out their names or anything like
mhm.
that. But I'm passionate. I'm 36 years old. I'm a young guy, and I love the Carolina Panthers. I love football, so you're gonna get that. And I like to press people on their positions. That's always been me. If your position to me doesn't seem like it has legs to stand on, I'm going to press you full court press.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get better with that too myself, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I think my uncle told me like when you have to curse to get your point across, then it's like some type of hidden aggression is because you don't have better words to say. So it kind of starts for me like being around like with you, Prime. I know I'm gonna let it slip because that's who I am.
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
That's cool.
But you know what I'm saying? I know I don't do it as much
Yeah.
around you because I believe in something called respect. You know what I'm saying? And at least trying to match somebody's energy and not put them in a situation or in a box to
Right.
be judged. Because it's just like Prime. No, I don't want Prime's people or people to go. Oh man, you got a bunch of people that just around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
I want to be able to come to your show and and just say, Twan, stay in his standards. You know what I'm saying? And I know Prime is like, look, man, say what you gotta say, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, go ahead, man.
I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? It makes you not want like, bro, listen, I just want to keep it his like his his smoothness, his road, you know what I'm saying, and do it his way when you're over here. I'm just a guest, you know what I'm saying? And I think like with some podcasts, you know what I'm saying, just match that place's energy, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't do certain things that podcasts do, then you know what I'm saying, then don't do that. I mean, it's too many podcasts out here for people not to find something that they want to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah, no, yeah.
and you know, and it's just like, bro, when I first heard you,
Mm-hmm.
I said, this dude is dope, man. You know what I'm saying? And I
Appreciate it.
didn't even realize you didn't curse. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But that's the beauty of it is when somebody can talk football
Yeah,
and you don't even catch that. You know what I'm saying? That
yeah.
because it's not necessary if you're just talking straight up football and you know what you're talking about.
Facts. Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's it's something that I've been trying to work on for a long time, man. Just trying to figure out other words to express myself because I myself, this is something that a lot of people don't know. I myself, had a horrible time with pronouncing words and just kind of getting my thoughts together to form an opinion about something. So I would go
Mhm.
online, go on YouTube, and learn how to form an opinion. How to break down certain things. And the one thing that helps me out a lot too is I do a lot of debates about the Bible.
Mhm.
We debate a lot of stuff, and you have to be able to form a position, stand on the position, and then oppose someone else's position with your position. So you have to have a lot of critical thinking skills. And sometimes I have to be two steps ahead of the other person because I have to remember if they're coming at it from this perspective, I need to know that perspective and I need to know why that perspective is false. So I have to be two steps ahead of the person to, you know, kind of in a sense uh, beat them at what they're trying to elaborate on. And I just bring that over here to the podcast world. I take that same approach. I try to make sure that I'm knowledgeable. Like I said, I feel like I'm only 25% well into being a podcaster because I see other podcasts that are light years better than me and better in pronouncing words and just kind of carrying on a thought and bringing it to the peak of it and the hook, all that different type of terminology when
Mhm.
you talk about the podcast world, and I feel like I'm at that the area where I'm getting there. So for me, man, it's just a lot of growth, a lot of development that I'm trying to acquire and still acquiring, and
Prime,
I
let me
think
go tell
this.
you something, bro.
Go ahead, brother.
You've already arrived, bro.
Well, I appreciate that. I
Let me
really
explain
do.
to you why you've already arrived.
Yes, sir.
Because we live in a time now where, see, I almost slipped.
Brother, talk. Go ahead. You
I'm
know how we
gonna
are, man.
do my prime thing. I'm gonna do my prime thing. We live
Yes,
in a
sir.
world now where a lot of bull junk,
Bull jive, like
bull
of the
junk,
shade.
yeah.
Bull
We live in a
jive.
world where a lot of bull junk is respected, and people like a lot of negativity, and they feed off non-talent, and you know what I'm saying. Those aren't those things aren't role models.
Right.
You feel me?
Hmm.
And uh, as far as people using big words, you know what I'm saying? I'm educated. I have a master's degree. I mean, as far as people using big words, it don't mean nothing if you don't know what they mean.
Facts.
Anybody can sit down and go through the thesaurus, you know what I'm saying, or through a dictionary and just go, I'm gonna use this word here, boom, boom, boom. See the
Yeah.
meaning, and then like I'm gonna use this all the time, and then if somebody stop you and go, look, what does idiosyncrasy mean, man? And you go,
Yeah.
so why are you using it?
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Prime,
Hmm.
you've arrived. I seen the way you present it, the way you present on your show. I seen the way you present on your shorts. You know what I'm saying? Your world, and then you just told the world about your preparation skills, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody don't do that,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and I do
absolutely.
believe there's some natural talent, and where people could just go off the dome and do something like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. And people can say I'm hating or whatever. Shannon Sharp is not a great interviewer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But if you could go get the best of the best to sit down in an interview with you, then
Yeah.
people can give you credit for something that you.
Hmm.
aren't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
come on, Skip. Oh, Panthers Prime. Come on, baby, baby. Come on. So Shannon Sharp sound like he ain't never read a book in his life, and I ain't trying to disrespect him and nothing like that.
Right.
But he's famous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
famous people can get famous people to come on their shows. Let's just be honest with each other. It doesn't mean
Absolutely.
you're the best.
Yeah,
Whereas then you got somebody like Prime just as good as well. He can do an interview or he can conduct one or he can receive one. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
then those people would never go notice. That's why
absolutely.
some people that are in your same light as myself and others, and I've been trying to teach this with people for so long, bro. We have to give each other our flowers because nobody else is
Absolutely.
going to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with
You
that
already
wholeheartedly.
arrived, bro. It ain't no, hey, look, it ain't a lot of dudes out here that can do what you do, bro.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It ain't no 30%. I don't want you to ever say 30% again, bro.
Well, you know what, man? I try to be
Some
very,
people are
very,
where they are
yeah,
because people like something about them that has nothing to do with skills.
understood. Yeah, 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 yeah. For me, man, I try to, everything that I do in life, man, I've always done it on a grading scale. Uh,
Mhm,
and it could be a tougher grading scale than what some may assume
mhm.
or follow through with. But I try to make sure that each and every time I don't leave no stones unturned. Like even with the stuff that I'm doing right now with
There you go.
the trips that I got going on for the
Oh, we
NFC
definitely
South.
gonna bring that up. Hold
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Hold that.
okay, okay, okay. But just in all of my preparation, I try to make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's 4 or 5 times over to make sure that I have a cognitive understanding of what's going on, what's needed for me to get to this point. How do I achieve it? How do I replicate this thing? And that's for like kind of how we talked a couple of days ago about how I do all of my media stuff. Like everything is just streamlined. I dropped video. I do this. I do this. I do this. I do this. Same process all the time, so I get the same exact results, if not better.
There you go. There you go, bro. Listen, I want to bring something forward to everybody out there that is a Carolina Panthers fan, and you're like, "Hey, man, I don't have enough money to go see all these Panthers games, or whatever your reason is, or like, man, I can't pay for the game costs of flying, whatever." You know what I'm saying? Panthers Prime has a solution for you, and everybody needs to know this.
Yeah.
Prime, you got something going on right now with travel to Carolina Panthers games, all the away games. Take it away from there, bro. Tell everybody what's going on with that situation and what you are presenting to them, what you have to offer them in that case.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the 2024 season, we are putting together travel packages for all the away games. So those packages will include these things: round trip transportation, whether that's by luxury motor coach or flight, uh, hotel stay, and we stay at either Hilton or Marriott brand hotel. With certain packages that you can get on Panthers Prime Podcast as a member, you can either get certain discounts off on the trip to the highest package where you will get lower level seating on some of our games if you become a member at that level.
Mm.
But basically, what we're doing is just travel packages to all the away games. Yeah. I mean, we're basically taking all of the hard movements out of getting to games out of the way, putting it into professionals' hands so that you guys can have the best away game experience possible.
Y'all ain't got no excuses, bro. Y'all ain't got no excuses. Support this man and what he's trying to do. No excuses. So if you love Bryce so much, then go see his games. Do it with this man right here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's a
Absolutely.
great package. He's giving back. Man, look, man, I don't know what else to say with that. I told you, Prime, count me in for at least two of them trips. I got
Okay.
to have it. And I got to support my boy, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes,
I
sir.
got to
Yes,
have it.
sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Are, are,
Prime.
are, Are you going to see Bryce? You gonna support Bryce?
Yeah.
I got you, man.
I'm gonna be,
You know,
nah,
I had to throw that in there, man.
I'm not going to go see no damn loss.
I
So
hope
I got
not, man. Yeah, the most
yeah,
deaf.
man. Yeah, I gotta support him. He on the team,
Yeah, he there.
Look, if he ain't doing well, and there's another quarterback on our team, that I can support too, then put him out there.
Hey,
You
they're
know
killing
what
the
I'm saying?
Panther. We support all. Yeah.
One of my last questions, and then anything you want to talk about with the Carolina Panthers before we get out of here is this: when Bryce got pulled, and I'm just going to change it. If you were the head coach,
Mhm.
at any point in the season, would you have pulled and sat Bryce Young and played the Red Rifle based on what he did in that game when he played? Would you have ever made a tough decision to sit Bryce down and um, put in another coach if you were serious about winning?
Yes, I would have when Bryce went down after watching the Atlanta game and then the game with the Saints after he got injured. I would have taken Bryce out for this reason. For this reason,
Okay.
game 2, you got an ankle injury or
Mm-hmm.
supposedly ankle injury. Now, I don't know how significant the ankle injury was because he did play against the Minnesota Vikings the very next week and it was bad.
Can I
But
say something real quick?
yes, sir, go ahead.
It wasn't no damn injury.
And that's what I'm saying. However significant the injury was, if I'm the head
It
coach,
wasn't no damn injury. They was trying to save his face at that time, man. Y'all
yeah,
know.
I'm pretty sure about that. But at whatever capacity
You see
or
the
whatever
clips?
level, yeah, I mean, I saw it. But at whatever level injury that was, me as a head coach, if I have the vision that Bryce Young is my quarterback for the next 3-4 years, I don't think it's advantageous with everything that we've been seeing with his size and everything like that. And then we grew later on in the season to understand that he is a tougher quarterback, tougher guy
Yes,
than
sir.
what we thought he was. He took a lot of hits. But
Yes, sir.
me being the head coach, after that, week 3, Andy Dalton put up 300 something yards, got us 20 something points. Bryce, hey, listen, man, I love you, man, but year 2 is your year. We're gonna roll with Andy.
Gotcha. Anything else about the Carolina Panthers that you wanted to put out there with any opinion of yours coming? Anything about like, you know what? Let's just ask that question, man. Uh, who you keeping on the defense and who you letting go?
God, dog, Twan. Oh man. Man. Shaq gotta go.
Without
Oh
saying,
man.
don't.
Um, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, man. Gosh, I may get a lot of flack for this.
Who cares, man? It's how you feel, bro.
I'm on the fence with Louisville, and I only say that because I like Louisville in some capacities and some plays. In other instances, Lou will be trying to throw the boomstick and be missing. So
Mhm.
I want to get to the point where our linebackers wrap up, and if you're going to throw the boom, it better connect. So Louisville, I'm on the fence with Louisville. Troy Hill is a definite resign. We can let who was that? Shaquille Griffin, whoever that
Mhm.
was. Yeah, bye.
Damn, he ain't even suited up.
Yeah. I mean, he suited up for that one game, but that's why Calvin really got that touchdown on him, beat him with a double move to the right side of the field. But
Jeremy Chen. Jeremy Chen.
Jeremy Chin, you know, since he's been in the league, his production has been declining, his
Yeah.
overall play. And it's no fault of his own in a sense. He's had injuries and stuff like that. But, you know, we did what we did without Jeremy Chin. I don't, for me, I'm business and I can cut something off really, really easily. And it's not personal, it's just business. So Jeremy Chin is a business move for me, cut him. The hard part for me right now is a JC Horn. because when JC's on the field, JC's effective. I mean, he is. He shut down Mike Evans in that last game against Tampa Bay. They didn't even get into the end zone, and it was because of JC Horn for the most part. JC Horn just has to be available and healthy. So I'm on the fence with JC. And I have a selfish reason for keeping Dante Jackson, because if he goes, then I can't use him in Madden. So I want him for at least one more year so I can use him in Madden. So, but I mean, like Shy Tuttle, if he didn't have a 2 or 3 year contract, I would want him gone. I like Sam Franklin a lot. I think he's a pretty good player. Camus, I like Camus. I think he's getting up there in age, but I think he's still pretty good. I'm trying to think who else. Who am I missing? I like Nick Thurman. I like Derek Brown. I think that those 2 additions right there on the line is going to be pretty good. What's up?
I'm gonna say not to cut you off. I'm gonna say one of the obvious questions that people are wondering. Mm-hmm. What would you do with JC?
What would I do with who?
JC Horn.
Yeah, I mean JC Horn is a like I said, it's a hard decision because, like I said, he's effective when he's on the field and when he's healthy. We saw that in the Seattle game last year. Just how he read that high-low to the right side of the field with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Once he realized that the sideline was right there, he backed up into coverage and went to the second level and picked the ball off on that high-low situation. But he's had a lot of non-contact injury. He's been out for the majority of basically his whole career. I mean, and like I like last year, I felt an urgency to bring in more cornerback help. This year, I think it's like a 5-alarm, call right now because you just don't know how healthy JC Horn is going to be. So if I'm the GM, that's a hard decision, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's a hard decision. But you got to go with your gut. And what history has shown us is JC Horn cannot finish no more than 20% of the season. No more than 20% of a season. It's not worth it.
I think this is the toughest question I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to leave it on this one.
Oh, boy. I'm nervous. What do we do with Bryce Young?
Kind of.
Okay. This must be a hard question. Man.
Here we go, man. Listen.
Okay, let's do it.
This year's record.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, the quarterback. What was the record?
Say it one more time. This year's record and what?
This past year's record. What was our record?
It was 2-15.
2-15.
Yeah.
Bryce Young was the quarterback, and everything else that you said was going on with the team. It wasn't just him.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that in mind. Okay, so listen. But we know when it comes to quarterbacks and things like that. Look, quarterbacks get all the credit, so sometimes they get, a lot of the criticism too.
Right.
And our schedule was pretty easy.
For the most part,
it was easy schedule.
Yeah.
Have you seen who we play next year? Of course you have, because you got a package. You're doing all the chips.
Yeah, man.
What's your record prediction for next year? When that competition gets way stiffer?
All right. Do you want to just say? Do you want to run down it, or do you want me
just overall?
Overall, okay. I'm thinking just
over and under.
I'm thinking that we win more than 4 games. We don't exceed no more than 8 or 9. I think that's my cap right there. 8 or 9. And I think we may have a few surprise wins. But I think that this first year is going to be relatively low win percentage wise. And that's just me speculating based on the current roster because we haven't hit free agency or the draft yet. So I can't really culminate players and stuff like that yet. So just looking at the strength of the schedule and how they played last year, like the Eagles is a team that may be a sneak win team. That might be one. But we might lose to the Las Vegas Raiders. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to see where that cognac is in your on your table right there.
No,
What's in that mug, bro?
Oh, this. Oh, you talking right here? No, this is just water. Just water, ice
Nah,
water. No, it's just ice water.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's just ice water in here,
No,
man.
it's not. It's something going on in that mug over there, bro.
No, man, nothing's going
9
on here, man.
wins.
Well. I mean, you wanted an over under. I mean,
what's the worst? What's the worst record that we could?
Worst record we can do is like a 3-14, man. I mean, 3 wins, and I think it's pretty plausible if Canellis doesn't alter the inabilities of Bryce Young, take the ball out of his hand as much as possible, and only give him until he gets comfortable up under his scheme. Give him the easy throws, the easy stuff, the rollouts that are dealing with a crosser or some type of play action stuff. If you try to line Bryce up like how you did last year, we're not winning a lot of games because I don't think that we're going to drastically change how our offensive line looks as far as player wise. So we're still stuck with an Icky. I think we're still stuck with a Moulton. I think we're still stuck with some of these guys. There may be a little bit of an addition, and we may be able to, try to move some things around, but you're still stuck with some of these guys. Are they going to improve up under Canellis? That's still yet to be seen. But if I'm going off of this past year, I say the low number is maybe 3. The high number is probably 8.
Problem, we just went 2 wins.
I know.
And now we got a harder schedule, and you're saying 3.
Yeah. I mean, I feel, and it's because I feel confident in Dan Morgan to bring in, some good players that are going to play.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's really like if we went with like a Alec Hallaby, or at GM or somebody that I don't really know their past like that as far as a player. Dan Morgan exemplifies and carries out what keep pounding is. So I can only assume that he's going to bring in that type of mentality with his players and who he drafts.
Here we go, man. Rapid fire questions. That's how we go in the show, man.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
Let's go, man. High school football or college sports?
High school.
Educated or rich?
Man, educated.
The 2003 team or the 2015 team?
2003.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Music or podcasts?
Oh, man. Music.
Android or Apple?
Apple.
Your success or your kid's success?
My kid's success all day.
Memories or new ideas?
New ideas.
All right. Rich friends or loyal friends?
Loyal friends.
Okay. Work hard or play hard?
Work hard.
All right. Football or basketball?
Football.
Bryce Young or CJ Stroud?
Stroud all day. I'm sorry. I'm still on that train.
Man, y'all give it up for my man Prime. He's in the building. Prime is in the building, man. Prime, man. Bro, first of all, I want to thank you for we've been trying to put this together for a minute. I want to thank you for coming over and allowing me to interview you, man, and get into your business a little bit, man. And just having the pleasure of interviewing such a great, fabulous dude, man. I think a lot more people need to be paying attention to, man. You should definitely be at 10K subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get there too, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's got to start with people understanding out here with the real podcasting and real shows that focus on football. And it's not a slight to anybody out there, so if anybody's reading too much into that, thank you for your time, brother. Thank you for just being who you are, bro. I want to thank all the podcasts out there, man. Black Cat Panther podcast out there, man. Shout out to my brothers over there. Shout out to C3, Cody, and them.
Yeah.
Friday Free Fall out there. PNP. My man Dunk. We're over there. Shout out to the 4-Man Rush.
Yeah.
Shout out to Unk 2020.
Yeah.
Shout out to Panthers Uncensored with Big Cat.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Two Fans in the Stands.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of
What's up,
content
Doug?
here. You know what I'm saying? And just shout out to all of them. Prime,
Yes.
who are you shouting out? Family members, children, everybody. Assume they're all watching right now, man.
Yeah.
Give them their flowers now, bro.
Yeah, man. I just want to shout out, all my family members, of course, my son and my daughter who should be sleeping in bed right now. But I know that they was watching a little bit because they text me. Of course, my uncle Kenneth, he was watching, and my cousin Kanisha, my brother, from another mother, man, Jerome Minor, man. I appreciate all these guys and a couple other people, Mike from my job as well. I just thank all these guys, man, that a couple other people that may have slipped in and slipped out. But thank you for coming in, just checking out the interview, seeing what what I had to say, and I just appreciate you, Twan, for bringing me on to your platform, man, and giving me the ability to, just kind of voice how I feel, man, and give me this opportunity to have this interview with you, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. It was my pleasure. Also, I forgot some people. This is like when you start naming.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Panthers experience, also, bro, man. Uncle Quan. Shout out to C. Ducky out there doing his thing. Who did I forget, man? All the Carolina Panthers content creators, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a group called Two Roars or something like that.
Yeah. Two Roars. Yeah, man. Yeah. Great content.
Like my personal mentor, the great Pat Coltrane, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, man. I haven't seen Pat in a while, man. What's going on with Pat?
I get him back out there. I know how to do it. Tell him, Pat,
yeah, man. Pat, hey, listen. Pat is so funny on Twitter, yo. Like, he be having me rolling, man, because he got such a sarcastic way of talking. It's so funny, man.
Yeah,
funny.
Man. Life is Just a Way podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out. Hey, look, if I'm forgetting anybody, man, put him in
Panthers Theory. Panthers Theory.
Yeah. And look, I need to holler at him. You know what I'm saying? Remember that. I need to holler at him. I like his debating skills, man.
Yeah.
Look, shout out to all, man. Prom, I love you. Just hold for the ending of the show. Don't go nowhere. And look, man, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. You guys have been watching today, man. Me and this brother right here. Y'all don't understand how long it took for us to get this done.
Yeah, it was a while.
They really don't. They really don't, man.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they was able to see it this time, man. But look, check this out. Thank y'all for coming by. Make sure y'all hit the like button on this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Share this video, y'all. Share this video. If you're watching it later tomorrow or at work and you feel compelled to give, all the money and proceeds will go to Panthers Prime. You know what I'm saying? For his time. I'm Twan Don. That's my man Prime, man. This is Twan Don versus everybody. We'll see y'all next time.